Y'all know what time it is. Let's lock in and go nuts. Right? We ain't gonna do too much talking because we got more stuff to talk about when we are talking about it, right? Zoom out, get the screen in there. Yeah, there we go. Go to my playlist. Should be the Pig Ready to Go playlist. Shouts out to Pig being ready to go. Yeah, right there. Pig RIRTG. Aura Tia Gia. Gias. Yeah, let's go. I'm quit all that rapping. Oh, shout out to that big homie. Y'all know to go check out my Dallas homeboy. He might be a Cowboys fan, but we still love him. Says nobody watches you harder than the people that don't like you. Remember that. If you ain't doing nothing,
What
making
is this, some
content
sort of
just for your
Super
haters.
Saiyan bargain basement sale? Is he right? Are there really too many Super Saiyans? And is that really a bad thing? Brand new to the Geekdom 101 merchandise store. It's November. You're going to see a whole bunch of sales, and we got one right now. The Super Saiyan bargain sale merch line. You can get a shirt, a hoodie, all kinds of different types of clothes, as well as different colors and sizes. And right now, everything in the store is 30% off for a limited time. I'll leave the link in the description. Get yours for you and your loved ones today. You know, one of the things that I've been most proud of in the last 10 years of YouTube that I've been here is that we've been able to successfully eradicate the clickbait. We've been able to help spread true information and get rid of misinformation. But unfortunately, I'm only one man, and now as the hype train continues for January's big event, here comes the BS again. So I've had several
As to be
people
expected.
send this piece of news to me. And even on my stream I did late last night, there were numerous questions from different people asking me if this was true. And I'm going to be talking about that here on this video. So make sure you listen very carefully so I make it very clear about what's going on. There are a ton of Instagram pages that have been posting about this upcoming Dragon Ball movie that's supposed to be about Vegeta's past, like Vegeta's life, obviously prior to meeting Goku, his life with Nappa in the Frieza Force. This page right here, Untold DBS, has posted about it. There's another page here, Martian Comic Hunter, and then there's another page right here on Instagram, Nathanistic, and that's just three of many Instagram pages that have been discussing and have been posting about this story that Dragon Ball's next movie is going to be a Vegeta backstory. So what these guys like to do is they talk about these industry rumors, of which there are none for a Vegeta story. Reports circulating in the community point to a major reveal at Dragon Ball Genki Damatsuri in January, which is true. And they talk about Akio Iyoko on his announcement.
Bong loaded.
And then this is where things get
Yeah, we
funny. He
hitting the
goes on
bong
to
this
say,
morning.
even former manga editor Kazuhiko Torishima once said Dragon Ball needs a true Vegeta narrative. So we should talk about this. This is being reported on Facebook and Instagram pages, none of which have any credibility. They have no actual inside sources, and they have no track record of getting any of the stories right. Whether you like...
Now that's the one thing about Geekdom that he finna say, whether you like him or not, he does at least get verified sources, and it does check out on some things. He does give away as spoilers. So like we said, if you ain't doing your homework, you ain't doing your own work. If you ain't doing your own work, hell, why we want to watch it?
me or you dislike me, the fact is I've gotten a lot of stuff right. You don't believe me? Watch the videos I did building up before Daima began for evidence of that. And go back even further to the days of Dragon Ball Super Broly and the Dragon Ball Super anime. I haven't gotten everything right, but I've gotten a few things right throughout the years. The other people who usually drop news, people like DBS Hype, DBS Chronicles, none of them have been discussing this. None of the figureheads of the Dragon Ball community that are connected to companies like Funimation, which is now Crunchyroll, or like Bandai, have talked about this. The only places talking about this Vegeta movie are random Instagram pages that all copy each other, and none of them do.
But for the people that don't know why Vegeta would be the main focus point of a fucking movie coming up, it's because he does deserve his time to shine. Anybody that don't agree with it, hell, leave a comment in the hater section, because that's what comments is basically for. Go ahead and leave your hateful comments, and we'll ignore them at our discretion. Now, if you say something that I like, I'll comment in response. I might even like your comment. Hell, if you say something foolish, the complaint department's only open from 8 to 8:02 a.m. And I don't even be up at that time no more. So, by the time I get up, I'll just be like, oh, that's a hater comment. But anyways, yeah, I mean, Vegeta, he makes the story progress. It was easier for them because that's how they like to do it with Goku. They like to sideline Goku until it's time for him to actually come in and do what he's supposed to do, which is win the fight. You see what I'm saying? Everybody else done got their ass beat. Then Goku come in like, well, guess it's up to me. Hell, hey, can't nobody else beat the motherfucker. I guess I got to get my hands dirty. I don't want to have to kill him, but that's exactly why I got to be the one to beat him anyways, because Vegeta would probably kill him if he could, because the only person Vegeta didn't kill was Goku. And he was going to kill Goku, but then Goku had to get saved. Shouts out to the two people that came in and said hi. Maria Sanchez, appreciate you. What's that say? Gaming Legend 100007. That's a nice tag right there you got there. Why 0007?
Take time to do 2 seconds of research, to do 2 seconds of actually looking into things and seeing if this is actually a rumor before rushing to get their views and to get their information out there, because it's not about telling the audience the truth. It's about getting clicks, whether it be ad revenue, whether it be attention for their pages. Regardless, this is false. This is fake news. There is no Dragon Ball project in the
If your
works
dad watches this type
that's
of
supposed to be
content, go
about
ahead and send him
Vegeta's
the link.
backstory.
He'll
Would I
appreciate
like
you
to
for that.
see that? Absolutely. I would not be against that. Vegeta
Might
is one
have
of my
you
top
with a better
4 or
Christmas
5
gift, like,
favorite
oh,
characters. Probably my top.
you gave me the gift of Spider Pig and Super Saturdays, which he gonna be mad because he late. But hell, mostly everybody is, so I can appreciate that. But just like this Vegeta movie, if it is what it is late too, because they should have been did some Vegeta content. It could go back to the history of Vegeta, and it could be a future crossover to where he actually goes in a universe 6 or 13. Yeah, they could actually bring back the other 6 universes that are missing, and then explain Saiyans all across all 3 of them. Because, they weren't just pairs, they were trios. You see what I'm saying? Shouts out to the trios. Broly, Goku, and
Actually,
Vegeta. That's a trio,
favorite
right?
characters in all of Dragon Ball.
Something like that.
And I would love to see a story delving into Vegeta's past. That's not at all what's being planned as far as we know. And here's the thing. There have been a ton of rumors, rumors going around, taking us back to, running the gamut about what's coming up in January. And I will say this. Some of what I've seen as far as the rumors go is true from what I've been told and from what I've seen. Don't have all the details on this yet. However, this is not one of them. But what happens is these Instagram pages just promote each other. People on TikTok do it, Facebook, and they promote this stuff out, and people don't actually look into things. They just see the shiny, nice fan art, usually done with AI, and they say, wow, there's a new Vegeta movie coming out. And nobody takes the time to do the research and look into it. Look, y'all, I've said this before and I will say it again. You do not have to trust me if you don't want to. That's up to you. That's entirely up to you. That's okay. I don't take it personal. I used to, I don't anymore. Look into the other sources that have revealed information about Dragon Ball. Venixis, nothing about a Vegeta movie. Nothing from DBS Hype, who's trusted by a lot of people. Nothing from Herms. The people who have been credible going back decades, at least a decade, no one's talking about this except for a bunch of Instagram pages who want your clicks. I'm sorry to give you the bad news, but I would rather be honest with you. I'd rather be honest with you than blow smoke up your ass. There's no Vegeta movie being planned that we're aware of for 2026. Could there be one later on, maybe? Sure. As far as I've seen, there's no evidence to there being a Vegeta-centric project. The 2 Dragon Ball projects that are going to be announced in January, nothing is about a Vegeta movie. Would I like to see it? Like I said earlier in the video, absolutely. I actually would love to see it because that would be a cool story if done right with the right writers. And I want to comment on one last thing here about Torishima. Yes, Torishima did say that he would love a Vegeta story. That's true. He did say that in an interview. But let me tell you the other part that these guys love to leave out. While Torishima was Toriyama's editor, Torishima does not work for Capsule Corp Tokyo. He does not work for Toei. He does not work for Shueisha, and he hasn't for years. Torishima has absolutely no clout to be able to make these decisions. He has clout in the company as an editor, and he's respected, but he's not the one
What
that
up?
makes
We all
these
got a
decisions.
story. Good to see you, Heather. How you doing?
And Capsule Corporation Tokyo, that is who makes these decisions. And I keep seeing this BS, and it's like, dude, here's what I want you to do. You don't have to be mean. You
Lord
don't
knows
have
I
to
was
be
mad
rude.
when I had to let the dog out.
Anytime
Like,
you see
hey,
something
you better
like
hurry
this,
up. It is
link
cold
up to my
out here.
video, or if you don't
Yeah,
want to do that,
Robo,
that's
Thermal.
fine. Comment fake news
Yeah,
or
wasn't
this is
ready.
fake. Please do your research because all these dudes do, it's embarrassing. All they do is just copy what they read.
There's plenty to do.
Never,
You know, you're
ever
going to get to
actually check
crafting
into
here in a minute.
anything.
Y'all know to go check out We All Got a Story, a.k.a. Heather's Chronic Crafting Conditioning channel, a.k.a. Heather J. Y'all know how to go check her out. Appreciate her stopping by. Oh, speaking of stopping by, good to see the Bud File. Sue, how you doing? You know, the trio over there, Sue and them. Appreciate them stopping by.
And it's quite embarrassing. And then next thing I know, I've got a bunch of people asking me questions about a project that doesn't exist. There is no Vegeta-centric project right now. Could there be someday? I wouldn't be against it. This is fake information. So maybe I'll do more of these debunks if I see BS being floated around in the community more, but this is one of the big ones. I think it's best that we wait until January 26th, and please don't believe what you see on these pages. Please do. I'm imploring with you, don't trust Facebook, don't trust Instagram. These people have no connections. Look at who's actually come through. That's who you should trust. With that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great week coming up. Take care of yourself and each other. Love you guys.
Impact statements after the castle. Hey, JR, nigga. Ain't it a blessing? We made it out of last after all that happened. That bitch, nigga. After Michigan State, after Hubbard, when our mans told on us, the bands they took from us. Joy Road, bitch, put the money long as 6 mile, brick mile.
Like that Gundam cosplay, man. I'm gonna have to get some more videos like that.
Up-to-date Super Saiyan Zaru, let me come in and keep it real. 6 trillion right there for you. So that means when baby Vegeta goes Golden Grade 8, let's see what his numbers are. Because Goku was at 60 trillion in Grade 8 form. And that's probably nerfed because as y'all seen, you gotta add in damage before the multiplier
multipliers can kick in. You see what I'm saying? So him transforming into a Zaru gave him a 10 times multiplier, but he was in his base form when he first transformed. But this is now him as Super Saiyan. So you got to take out the Super Saiyan multiplier. Then you got to take out, well, you add in the Zaru multiplier. But then you got to, you know, y'all got to do some basic math for the people that ain't mathing the math. And then they wonder why I make my own shorts of me watching videos. So when I'm doing long videos and I want to throw something in the mix, it'll be my video that I'm reviewing in my video review. Damn. I'm narcissistic, but that's how it goes, right?
You find yourself on the unrelenting.
If I ain't gonna rep me, who gonna rep me? Heather will rep, but you know, we appreciate that fact. We got some supporters these days, hell. We've been at this YouTube shit since 2021, right?
Don't forget to become a member of Unrelenting.
Yeah, 2021. Been 4 years already, Heather. Imagine that.
Do it now, or else.
So the time flies when you're having fun. Good thing I age in vampire years. So I'm here for a long time and a good one.
Now this was most certainly a wonderful little surprise to watch unfold, because while I wasn't ever expecting for either one of Goku or Vegeta's sons to ever be remotely interested in having to compete within such a dangerous event, I am rather interested now on seeing how exactly far these two will be willing to go and take themselves before the day comes when this upcoming omniversal tournament of power is to begin.
And like we said, with them wanting to get into the tournament, that means hell, they had 3 months to train. I'm just saying, with 3 months to get ready for something, you would think that you're ready for that something at the end of that 3 months, right? Especially with them having a hyperbolic time chamber in which they can go get an extra year in. Yeah, and then they done took the limits off of the hyperbolic time chamber, so you can actually go through their proper training arc. Give them 2 straight years in the hyperbolic time chamber. Well, give them a year because they finna spend the day that they have in there. Everybody knows they finna go in there. Is there gonna be enough food? It doesn't matter. We'll have Mr. Popo drop off food. Do we have enough food? It doesn't matter. We have Bulma with the capsules. She gonna come drop us off a special food making machine type shit. Yes, it automatically synthesizes food and it fits in this capsule type shit. That's what Bulma's there for. So now you can have 4 people in the damn room of spirit and time, as they call it, the hyperbolic time chamber ass. Yeah, let's go get some training in. We gonna get the fight in today, but then next week that's what they're gonna be doing. They're gonna be fighting over who goes into the hyperbolic chamber. Yeah, fight. Winner goes in. Rock, paper, scissors. Nah, you always cheat at rock, paper, scissors. How you cheat at rock, paper, scissors? I mean, you wait and watch them throw and then throw something half a second slow. Yeah, however that works. Ronnie, I'm glad to see you up early in the morning trolling, but for anybody that knows me, I am far from out of shape. I'm almost a young Vegeta in his prime. Neck flap. Hell, you better go watch another video, because I'm in all my videos. I'm the guy that you see at the beginning of my video. That's how you know who's talking to you. So shut the fuck up with that bullshit. Because you see Vegeta wasn't playing. He was in this gravity room, not the spirit room yet. He in the gravity room. That means the gravity is probably at an absurd number. And here he is doing fucking one-armed... Those aren't push-ups, pull-ups, whatever the fuck they call. Because he getting them off.
Following the events of our heroes having to be shown returning, as Vegeta was shown training inside of the gravity room by himself, to which it was only during the middle of his training as Vegeta began to recall the events involving himself and the Elder Sage within the Mirror Realm was when Vegeta went on to then say to himself by responding, so the Grand Priest has finally decided to go and throw down the gauntlet on behalf of those Omni Kings now, has he? Because with the second tournament of power being held that will not only go as far as to bring together the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse,
See, I timed his ass out in the chat so he can go watch another video. Yeah, and then he can come back and act like he got some sense. What the fuck? A lot of kicking.
This will be more than just a mere tournament, as
Oh yeah, see, that's one finger.
And the battle that will determine on who will truly stand at the pinnacle of power as being called the absolute strongest in existence, as I will not go and allow for myself to be anything less than the absolute best, for once that time comes, as I will further go on to push my body, my mind, and my very soul beyond its previous limitations, as I will not go and allow myself to be defeated in this upcoming battle, no matter who it is that I have to go on and face, Vegeta continues, because if the Grand Minister believes that my mastered Ultra Ego form is powerful but a bit flawed when having to go up against him, then I will have no other choice than to push myself beyond it, for I will go and take his words to heart, but I will not go and let them define me, Vegeta adds. So instead I will go on to use this as the very foundation for my next evolution, for I must go on to find a way to surpass my current levels of strength, because I know that the Elder Sage was able to see something that I wasn't able to see whilst inside that mirror realm, and so because of this I must find out as to what it was that he had seen, Vegeta adds, as I know that I had seen something that was staring back at me while within that mirror realm, something that haunts me even now while I train, because while that Elder Sage had continued to speak in riddles, I know that there was a truth that was hidden behind his words, a truth about my future that I cannot ignore, and so what exactly did he mean by what he said? And as what exactly did he mean when he alluded to my destiny before throwing me out, Vegeta continues, as I'm sure that Kakarot must have been given the same treatment when he was shown having to enter into that realm, and so I must go and get down to the bottom of what he had said before the Omniversal Tournament of Power begins. And while I will go and continue to use different training methods before the day when this tournament actually begins, since I already know that Kakarot is more than likely going to be going and doing the same as I speak, Vegeta adds, and because I know that he is more than likely giving it his all in training just as intensely as I am going to go and make sure that he isn't going to be the only one who walks into this tournament as being the strongest that he could possibly be. And while I can only expect for this upcoming tournament to also bring about and introduce alternate variants of the warriors who reside in this universe, including likely for myself and Kakarot, nevertheless, no matter who it is that I end up going up against, whether it's one of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse, Kakarot, or even an alternate version of myself, I will not lose no matter what it is that they end up throwing in my direction, Vegeta continues.
And that's why we like this guy, because he said what? I'm going to put in that work, and I ain't trying to lose to nothing or nobody. I don't even care if it is the Grand Priest. Hell, Zeno could pull up himself. I'm going to put his ass right back in his chair. Like, man, Zeno, don't get fucked up, boy. Hey, you know I be trying to throw them in his hands.
And while I'm still pondering on what exactly it was which that Elder Sage had meant by what he had told me while seeing what I saw within that mirror realm, Vegeta adds, one way or another I will go and get down to the bottom of what it was that I had seen within my reflection, and I don't plan on stopping until I find out as to what that was. But then, it was only just within those very moments, unbeknownst to Vegeta, as Trunks was shown having to open the door to the gravity room and having to make his way inside, was when Trunks went on to then quickly respond, well, finally, there we are now, as this crummy door was somehow stuck and it didn't want to open, but now that I'm here, hey, Dad, do you mind if I trouble you for just a second? Cause I really wanted to go and ask you about something. Trunks, Vegeta questions upon being shown smacking one of the droid blasts directly in his direction. And how exactly did you go and manage to get inside? For the sign on the door clearly said, do not answer, as Trunks went on to then quickly shout, well, I just wanted to go and ask, oh, hey, whoa, wait a second now, I'm not a stand aside, Vegeta then went on to teleport in front of Trunks by smacking one of the blasts away. And as this isn't the time or the place, Trunks, and just what exactly are you doing here, Vegeta questions? Didn't I already go and tell you to stay out of the gravity room while I'm busy and having to go and train inside? Now what do you want? With Trunks responding, well, geez, Dad, I didn't mean to come in here and get you all upset or anything, but I only rather figured that you weren't as busy as I thought you'd be, since I wanted to go and ask you about something. When the chamber doors closed, that means do not enter. Am I understood, Vegeta questions? And I won't go as far as to warn you like this again.
Now, see, I like how he actually had to, you know, step in and slap that ball that he had just shot to actually save Trunks' ass, because he's like, boy, I'm in here going hard. That blast could have killed you. Base Vegeta just saved his son, because he's like, boy, your base ain't nowhere near my base. And in my base, I actually train at full base. You see what I'm saying? So he wasn't holding back when he had shot that shot. That's why he instantly flicked over there to fucking save his son's life. You see what I'm saying? That's that good parenting right there. He's like, boy, you coming in here unprepared. Don't be walking up on me in my serious kung fu training sessions. Hell, I be getting it in. I mean, my power level is not playing. And this is just base. So imagine what it's like when he transforms. That's why I was surprised. He's like, man, boy, I feel like that's Dad. Yeah. But then you don't remember, Dad's actually way up there. But they look like a lot of dialogue. This nigga Trunks gonna be talking forever.
Trunks, with Trunks quickly responding, yes, sir, I understand. As I didn't really think that you'd be back from Lord Beerus's world so soon. Otherwise, I would have more than likely had waited, if anything, Dad. With Vegeta responding, well, you could have seriously had went and injured yourself just by barging in the way you just did, especially since you didn't even
Oh, the big homies, the real odds and evens. Appreciate y'all for stopping by.
So now why are you
I'm gonna throw a wrench at you, so be careful. We had some trolls in here today.
With Trunks responding, well, there's honestly something that's been on my mind for a long time now, and I can't help but shake this feeling to want to know. And well, ever since I found out that both you and Goku were able to somehow go and find a way to tap into these incredible new levels of power that you guys wield, powers of course that go far beyond anything that I ever would have imagined and having to see it evolve into, I can't help but feel this burning desire inside of me ever since learning about it. Now I've seen what you've accomplished.
Oh, you already know. We do our networking and we've done our homework. So therefore, hell, we recognize the people we be seeing when we be out in traffic. That's why I said when you come to the channel, hey, it's my job to go ahead and give you your respect, because I already know most of these people. And if it's people I don't know, like a little buddy up there, I'm like, well, shit, you must not know, because you talking stuff you don't know. But yeah, y'all know to go check out my Real Odds and Evens at Real Odds and Evens, because you know they some content creators. If y'all don't like the content, then tell them I sent you anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I don't like your content, but Popcorn, aka Spider Pig, said to pull up, and you know we do, because you know, hell, I'll be on one of my other accounts, and I might come through and support everybody one day, because I do that from time to time. It'll be a support video, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. We on Dragon Ball. Like the here it goes.
And how you've pushed yourself beyond the normal limits that even gods themselves thought were unreachable. And with me and Goten having to talk this over and agree upon how this makes us feel, it only goes as far as to make me wonder, do you think that maybe it's possible for me to also go as far as to do the same thing that you went and did, Dad? Do you think that I could ever go as far as to reach the same level of power that I heard you refer to as being called Mastered Ultra Ego, Dad? And
But you know, being good parents, this is where good parents gonna tell you, boy, you ain't gonna be on the same level as me. I'm making sure you gonna be better than me. And that's what's gonna kick Vegeta in his ass, because he gonna remember why his son's only at Super Saiyan 3 instead of being way above that already. Like, damn, I had been slacking on training your ass because I didn't think he was about that life. But at the same point in time, I gotta remember, hell, it's a family business. If you ain't working for the family, then you gotta be out of our business anyways, right? Right, yeah, get the fuck on up out of here. Hell, we been putting in work for the family. So now if you don't like what the family business is, then that's on you. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to follow suit, which is cool, because you know you can be your own person if you choose to. But while you out here making choices, remember you didn't choose the family. It gets harder when you forget that you're not choosing the family. The family was built to be warriors. Hell, your ass over here, this young Trunk, so he actually probably running Capsule Corp by now, because you know he's as smart as Bulma, but as ruthless as his daddy. Hell, yeah, I mean family ties, right? You got to know who you came from, right? Yeah, run the business. You might be 14, going to school and still running Capsule Corp on the side, because they already got you in training for that part. But since you only a Super Saiyan 3, we ain't gonna worry about your training too much. Oh yeah, I'm over here dropping the spoilers. He said Master Ultra Ego versus Black Frieza. Well, he's already done that series over here on his channel. But as far as my review on it, I think regular Ultra Ego will come back and actually beat fucking Frieza the next time he sees him. That's why Frieza just fucking went ahead and did what Frieza was supposed to do. Frieza gave them both Zenkai boosts by knocking them both the fuck out. Technically, like, yeah, y'all ain't even nowhere, because he trained for the fused versions of them versus the individual. So individually, hell, Black Frieza still might take Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta, truthfully, but I mean, me being a Vegeta fan, I'm ready to see Vegeta fucking Hakai that son bitch. You take that little 4'9" height, and I'm a Hakai your ass back out of history. You see what I'm saying? We ain't even gonna know what I was mad for no more, because I erased your ass. What was I tripping off? Because, you know, I don't care who they say. The whole reason why Vegeta showed up in the series is because that nigga needed help against Frieza. Like, that's why he actually killed Nappa. He killed Nappa because Nappa forgot. They came there because they needed to get stronger so they could defeat Frieza, which didn't mean we're just going to come steal these people's Dragon Balls. This motherfucker Kakarot apparently has gotten stronger, and we need to catch wind on how. Hell, he went from being a low-class warrior to putting down his brother. You see what I'm saying? His brother was like almost supposed to be 3 times stronger than him. So if I'm 10 times stronger than Raditz, because Raditz at about 14 hundo, and then Vegeta's sitting at about 18,000. Yeah, add a 4 and a 0 into them numbers, and then come holler at your boy. So he was like, but he's got strong enough to defeat Raditz. And now when I'm fighting this motherfucker, he's trying to keep up with me. Nappa, we wasn't here to just kill people. Hell, this nigga might be the way, the truth, and the hope for the universe type motherfuckers. That he needed some help to defeat the scum of the universe ass niggas. But yeah, I mean, Vegeta's been due to get an L, but what I tell most people about Vegeta is, since they tried to play him off as a one-off villain at first, because that's how Toriyama saw him when he first was writing shit, because he said it. Vegeta was supposed to be came in, set up, and got gone. But the fans liked the nigga because he was another Saiyan. That's where he fucked up. He should have made Vegeta like one of Frieza's race instead of saying if you plan on killing them off. But that's the part about not having a plan, and that's what we fuck up with Toriyama. You expect him to have a linear plan that makes sense. No, nigga, it's like watching Jigsaw. Hell, I write these motherfuckers when I'm feeling like killing people type stories. You see what I'm saying? So, hell, you might watch this part of the story and it don't make sense, but then later on it makes sense because I went back and wrote a story that was in between stories to make some stories make sense if you was paying attention. Because you know how he was. He's a master troll. Okay, the guy wanted to sit here and do gag comments. But hell, Dragon Ball was, you know, it had its funny scenes. But it was kind of a, we need an actual storyline about you, bruh. Because you came with some shit that we liked. That'd be you be a victim of your own success, right? That's what they call it. Hell, he fell into his natural bird cage. Shouts out to Dolphamingo. Hell, we gonna put them motherfuckers in the cage and watch them work.
Know that I've never really asked you for much of anything throughout my life, especially when it comes down to training, since I know that you often prefer to go and train alone when you do so. But honestly, I've I've always been a little afraid to go and ask you to help me since I never really thought that you'd even consider me to be worthy of having to train with. But anyways, while I was hesitant to go and ask you about this before, I'm here to go and ask you about this now. With Vegeta being shown having to turn and responding, wait, you what? Surely you're not serious now, are you? Are you saying that Kakawachi Youngest is also in agreement with you and feels the same way? Vegeta questions. And exactly how
Yeah, they said it's time to take their training serious. The Goatee ain't got hoes. Trunks got hoes. They need to get on their power to keep more hoes. And people from stealing their hoes.
Explain yourself now, and for the record, don't you ever go and assume that I'd ever look down upon you as being an unworthy training partner to train with, or I should go and smack you across your face for even going as far as to think about such nonsense, Trunks. Vegeta continues, as you had always been far too busy and more preoccupied with taking girls on dates than you were with your training, and so now start talking. Trunks responding, well, although this may come as a sudden shock and surprise from out of nowhere, but, well, when Goten had went and told me about how his dad was training under the angelic path with Whis and how you were training under the path of a destroyer with Lord Beerus, it made me go and realize that I can't just sit back and do nothing with myself, Trunks continues, as I went and heard so much about your mastered ultra ego power and Goku's angel form that was went and used against.
Now, see, this is where I want to see how creative my dude gets, because he could be on some bullshit with his story writing. Because you know how story writers sometimes get, right? They start borrowing shit from other people, or they're influenced by a show that they liked. Well, he's already writing a show that he likes, so I'm pretty sure he'll get to the point where he's borrowing things again, which I don't have a problem with. I respect that highly. You'll see that coming up for me in the future. You see what I'm saying? Hey, you take a good story and you show them how I would make it better. For the people that like it, they like it. For the people that don't agree, don't agree. You see what I'm saying? Either way, you watched it. Hell, that's gonna be the point, right? We're trying to entertain people. AI ain't got shit on me. Okay, that's the only thing I'm trying to say. AI ain't got shit on me. AI ain't doing nothing but the same shit that I used to do back in the day. Stealing and making shit make sense right now. You know what makes sense right now? This was somebody's money and now it's my money.
Frieza and his brother Cooler, and it ultimately got me thinking about what would happen if something were to go wrong if the two of you were no longer here, Trunks says. Like, what if both you and Goku were completely gone?
But to finish my statement from earlier, Vegeta doesn't have to defeat a main bad guy because he came in as a main bad guy who actually kicked Goku's ass and has continuously kicked his ass. I believe the count is 4-1. Okay, 4-1. 4 Vegeta wins to 1 Goku win. Y'all run the fights back in the comments, right? Because I like to go ahead and do that. Make y'all say something to me. What do you mean Vegeta is ahead 4-1? Yeah, there was one time that Goku did beat Vegeta, but it wasn't the first time. The time you think it was isn't the time it was, right? Right. He only won off screen versus Vegeta, and then every one that's on screen, Vegeta technically won the fight in one way or another. Whether it was knocking you out because you wasn't paying attention and let your guard down, Goku, because he does that, or I beat you having to go to Ozaru. But you know the way I saw the fight, I lost because I had to use Ozaru. Hey, I mean that's a narrative right there, right? Right. He don't gotta beat the fucking main bad guys. He beats Goku. Okay? Hell. Well, he hasn't defeated the main bad guy. Ain't nobody said that shit to me because you heard my argument for it. He beats Goku, nigga. How many main bad guys beat Goku besides Boo, Cell, and everybody these days? But it used to be Goku would be winning the fights. He'd only have to lose just so he'd have a reason to have a Zenkai, but they didn't know that back in the day. Like, well, damn, he was strong, but now he just got way stronger, which was fucked up because you let him lose a fight just so he gets stronger, which is supposed to be the point. Like, man, if I lose, I get stronger because, you know, I got the battle experience and the way my blood work. Hell, that shit got me hype as fuck. I went to go work out the next day. Hell, and I 10x'd my numbers. Yeah. Up them percentages. Up.
Trunks adds, what if our universe was
5 thumbs up. Appreciate that.
no one left who could do anything to stop it, Trunks questions, as I can't just go and hope that everything will be okay when there's a chance that it may not. But what's even worse, Trunks adds, is that I overheard Goten mentioning something about the possibility for there to be some kind of a second tournament of power happening soon, and, well, if that's the case, then I need to be ready, Dad, for I can't just go and afford to be caught off guard if and when this happens, and so because of that, I need to go and be ready to protect our universe and go and carry on our family's legacy in case something were to go and happen to you. And so now that is exactly why I am asking to go and train with you, Dad, as I want to go and make sure that if that time comes, that I'm strong enough to go and stand by your side and protect everything that matters to us. And so because of this, I can't just go and continue to stand idly by and allow for something similar that went down with Frieza and his brother to go and happen like that again. And that is simply because if it were not for both you and Goku, then we would have been goners for sure, with Vegeta being shown having to then respond. So Kakarot went and blabbed about the second tournament of power to his sons now, did he? Oh, well, of course he did, that idiot. But then again, tell me, Trunks, what makes you think that you are ready, Vegeta questions? Or have you ever even considered the weight of what you are asking for here? Because I don't think that you understand.
Just training with young Goten.
And this universe demands of its warriors, and so, if you are not ready to go and
That
endure
should have
the
been
hell
having
that lies
Piccolo
ahead,
training
then
with
you
him
are
this whole
simply
time.
not ready to go and stand by my
At least
side,
Roshi.
Trunks. As this simply isn't just about mere power, for it is about willpower and about enduring the pain that comes with it, along with the losses that you end up taking and the relentless push that you have to go through and having to break your limits. But I won't go easy on you if this is what you truly want, because if this is truly what you want, then you will have to go prove it not just to me, but to yourself, with Trunks responding, and I will go on to do exactly just that if you simply go and give me the chance to go and prove to you as to why I deserve to go and be a part of this, Father, which this is all that I am simply having to ask from you, and if you can go and grant me the approval in being able to go and do exactly that, then I will go and show you as to why I do belong, Dad, with Vegeta having to then respond, a little persistent now, aren't we? Well, fine, because if you truly are certain about yourself and being able to go and prove me wrong here, then so be it. Or I will go on and give you just one chance to go and try to change my mind and convince me on why you should go and be a part of this upcoming event. But if you are to fail to go on and having to convince me otherwise, then you can forget it, with Trunks responding, wait, seriously? You really mean it? Well, thank you, Dad, as I promise I'll go on to do everything within my power to go and prove it to you otherwise, and I won't go and blow this opportunity here against you either, so you can go and rest assured of that. But when exactly do you think that we can go and start out what we will go and do? Vegeta went on to then quickly interrupt, is that you will proceed in having to go on to listen to everything that I say, as we will go and start here and now, beginning with a quick sparring contest between us, as from there, I will from there go on to determine on whether or not this will continue to go after the fact of when we are finished. But in this contest, you are to go on to use all of your power here against me and nothing more.
See, that's how you know Trunk's still a kid, because he's still shorter than his dad. And you ain't got to be that tall to be taller than Vegeta. So, yeah, just a reminder, they got aged up, but not too far, right? Yeah, gave him the young boy look. That's what the young boys look like, Super Saiyan 3s. It's a better transformation for them hybrid Saiyans. I keep telling y'all that. Why? Because they can get it at a younger age. Hell, their daddies had such potential. That's why they let you know, Super Saiyan 3 ain't good for an old man, but it's good for a young boy, because, you know, it counteracts the high energy usage and stamina drain. Oh, well, that's perfectly designed for a young boy. He got high energy and high stamina at first. I mean, unless they lazy. You know how them lazy kids be. CB, bro, what's good? Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by, saying what's up in the chat. You know, because that's what keeps the chat popping. It don't matter if it's popping or not. I don't know who's here if they don't say hi, though. Because I can't acknowledge you when you for being here. But like I said about Trunks and Goten, them little motherfuckers, boy, hey. The Kira Toriyama, he wrote the story he wanted to write for the most part, because he already had an editor and all that on his fucking back 24/7. That's why I said it's better to you write the things you want to write and have your own company, and if people want to invest and buy into it, you let them do that, but then you don't let them dictate what you write. No, they're buying into my business versus me providing something for their business. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the difference between ownership and employees, right? The owners want a good story. Then, whenever you start writing a story and they're like, okay, the fans are receiving the story, then they start depicting the way the story goes after that. Like, throw us a couple ideas, and out of your few ideas, we'll oversee and run one versus no, I started my own business so that way I can write the stories that I want to write exactly. You see what I'm saying? And if you want to produce the movie, then you can produce the movie. You see what I'm saying? But it was written and produced by me first. Yeah. We be about that all damn day. Cause like I said, hell, Kira Toriyama, that's why he used to get mad. Cause hell, he wrote a different story in a lot of these stories, and that's why he took time off to begin with. Cause he was tired of writing Dragon Ball Z and having to turn the shit into the editor. Nah, when I write the story, I want the story to be the story I wrote. Y'all come to me to approve and change y'all shit is how he was doing things for a while after that, right? They would the studio would be writing the story and producing most of the artwork, and then he'd change a few things to how he saw fit, and then that made it back more into his story. That's why they want to get on a canon versus non-canon shit. Nah, it was all built and produced by this fucking company. It's all canon. Now, anything that wasn't officially released by the official company, that shit's not canon. That's the difference. Fan made mangas we know are fan made. Anything that wasn't the company that owns the property, aka the product or the service, is a product because you're watching Dragon Ball. Shout out to them balls. Hell, you better motherfucking go find them. Make you a wish.
Or do you understand? Because anything less than your best will result in having me crush you. Do I make myself clear? So all of it. Every bit of what you are made of is to be brought out in this battle here against me. Otherwise, you will regret it, Vegeta continues. And so now go on and transform and let me see on what you've got, Trunks. In which, nevertheless, of course, this was exactly what Trunks went on to do. Because with Trunks being shown having to immediately power up into a Super Saiyan right before having to be called out in transitioning into Super Saiyan 2 was when Trunks went on to then respond, well, if that's going to be the case, then far be it for me to go and keep you waiting then, so I'll just go and start with this. And since you want me to go all out and fight you by using my all, then I can assure you that this will be exactly what I will go and do, and so I'm ready. With Vegeta responding, fighting me head on and only having to use the standard level of Super Saiyan isn't going to be what will help you here, Trunks. And so now hurry it up and go and raise your power level and transform even higher, otherwise all you'd be doing here is wasting my time. To which that was exactly what Trunks did, because the moment Trunks
Wasted his
went on to
time.
transform into a Super Saiyan 2 was when Trunks then went on to quickly shout, well, if that's how you want to go and have this be, then let's go and kick things up into the second level and see how far I can go and take you. So that'll be your ace card against me here now, will it, Vegeta questions? What a shame, but fine. For you may go and come at me or prove me wrong, but I warn you, Trunks, if at any moment I go and find the need to go and put you down, then just know that I will not hesitate in doing so. And then so
See, the lightning, that indicates Super Saiyan 2. Yeah, for those that don't be paying attention.
Exactly that was when Super Saiyan 2 Trunks then went on to quickly shout, then by all means, but you shouldn't have to go and underestimate me here either, because who is to say that this won't be enough to go and convince you otherwise,
I appreciate the
Dad?
artwork.
Well, is that so? Vegeta went on to
Standing
question
there
upon being shown
menacingly.
having to dodge each and every single one of Super Saiyan 2 Trunks' attacks. And do you want to know on why that is, Trunks? On why I choose to underestimate you for the time being?
From
Vegeta
tight bar with
questions.
the
Well,
arms
the
crossed
answer is
to the
simple,
quick
and that
left
is
arm
solely due to
fucking
the fact
block,
because you were never shown in
catching
having
the
to
right.
want it as badly as you ever claimed to have wanted it,
See if
boy.
he was
And
really
for
trying
you
to
to have
go
went and requested to compete within this up.
right here on the right side of the bottom corner, he can shoot that. He can shoot his own uppercut. Boom, right there, took him out. However you want to place it, mid range, face, jaw. He got him all the way squared up and lined up within good range. Because look at where he stopped the punch, right there by his body. So with that right there, I mean, just that. Y'all don't want to hear me break down the fight signs because y'all know I got hands. I see what Jesus actually talking about over here. Like, boy, you better quit playing with me. He's like, shit. I mean, sure enough, I just stopped you from punching me, but you don't even see how I could have bleep blah, bleep blah, bleep blah, blah. Like, I mean, because you see, he's that close with his arm not even extended. So, yeah, he all up in that 106 and parking. I would have, but you know, he's like, let me see what he got
Been
though.
a mistake, Vegeta continues. And if you truly think that this will honestly be good enough to go and have me change my mind, then you don't have a hope in the world in doing anything more that will change that, Vegeta continues. So if you truly mean what you say and wanting to go and take part and be a worthy contender in this upcoming tournament, then you better start getting your act together right and having to put out far more than what you are shown having to do within the moment. Because anything less than your absolute best will only be a result in having you waste your time, especially if I end up standing in your way as your opponent in this upcoming event. Because if that ends up turning out to be the case, then you wouldn't have a shot in the world of beating me, and deep down, no matter how much time you are given to go and try, you won't be able to go and make a world of difference in this battle if you did. Vegeta proceeds upon being shown having to then kick Trunks away, and because I am on borrowed time, I refuse to go and have it be wasted if this is going to be the best that you have to offer here, Trunks. As Trunks went on to then quickly respond, "Oh, hey, just take it easy out there, Dad. Ouch, I can't feel my ribs, and my legs feel as though they're made of jelly. Oh, gosh. Did you really have to just go and lay it into me as hard as you just did here, Dad? Because that one went and really had taken..."
But like I said, I appreciate how he's already going into the, well, what if storylines of writing stories, because now that's one thing you expect to see is fan service to know what popular what ifs are out there for Dragon Ball, because then that gives you something to easily write about. That's why I said if you run out of things to write about, you're not stealing enough stuff. You're not paying attention to things that are the community's talking about, right? You ain't in the comment sections. You ain't nowhere watching the other people that's doing stuff. So you know what you supposed to be doing. Well, hell, that's a good video. Let me do that video. Because then when I do it, it should be better because I think I'm better than them. And if you don't think you're better than some people, that means you don't think you outworking people. Which, if you know you outwork people, then you know I'm better than somebody. So the guy that doesn't know what he's doing, I'm better than that guy, right? Because I at least know what I'm doing when I'm doing my shit. Type of shit. But you know how we are. Confident.
Me by surprise here. Well, tough luck, because that isn't going to go and cut it in. So now I will hereby offer you one last chance to go all out by using all that you have here against me. Otherwise, you can forget it. And so now go on and show me your best, or stand out of my way permanently, boy. To which, as Trunks was yet again shown having to power up, it would only now seem as though Trunks is far more determined than how he was just a few seconds ago, as Trunks went on to then quickly respond, "Well, suit yourself then, father, as even though I didn't really think that I would have to go as far as to use such power here against you. If you want me to simply go on and use my best here against you, then that's exactly what I am going to go and do."
You know this man got mastered ultra ego, and he ain't even out of his base yet. What are you talking about?
Really be on what I think that it is, Vegeta questions.
He ain't even out of base.
I can recognize that dense energy signature from miles away. Well, would you go and look at that? And here I thought that you were already at the limits of your power, Vegeta continues, but I guess I was mistaken now, wasn't I, Trunks? And since when exactly were you able to go and bust this level of power from out of nowhere and having to use here, Trunks? Because while I will go on to admit that I am rather surprised to go and see that you can actually wield such power as impressive as it looks to be, and I just hope you know that this still won't be enough to go and do me in, but I'll go and allow for you to go and find that out the hard way. And so now, are you ready? Because I most certainly am. To which it was only within those moments as Super Saiyan 3 Trunks was then shown having to emerge was when Trunks went on to then quickly respond, "Well, if you're truly curious to know, then me and Goten had went and dedicated ourselves in training a while back before we had decided to go and take a small break to go and catch up with our schoolwork, but in the meantime, we went and remembered our ability in wielding Super Super Saiyan 3 as a fusion and simply practiced until we went and adapted it individually, which is why we are both able to now go and use it, Father. And while we never really had a lot of time in having to go as far as to practice using these forms of ours, Trunks continues, even if I go and manage to somehow...
But for the people that ain't paying attention, that means since Goten and Trunks both trained together to get it individually, that means now when they fuse, they are actually stronger. Because guess what? They did the work. Shout out to putting in that work. 2025 was the homework playlist over on TWP. Yeah, it's always been whatever it's been over here on Spider Pig. So if I come up with a new playlist, hopefully you'll go watch it too. Hell, we might have something just for you. It might be somebody recommended a show and paid for a playlist. Let me get a playlist about da 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 da. Here's da 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 da. I'll be like, God damn it, they right.
continue to miss my shots and getting
We'll put it together because they know my type of work, right? We'll get you.
To belong, Dad. And so you'll see, especially once I go and wipe that cocky grin of yours right off your face, and I mean, respectfully, of course, not, personally, as Vegeta went on to then crack his knuckles by responding, "Oh no, but I insist, Trunks, be as personal as you like to go and be with me, because whether you mean in what you say and look forward in doing it, you still won't be successful in achieving it, no matter how many times you manage to go and transform, and so now come and prove it to me, boy." Oh yeah, well, we'll just have to go and see about that as we come to go and find out and seeing which one of us is going to be telling the truth, Father. And so just so you know, for the record, Trunks adds upon being shown having to finally attack Vegeta whilst wielding Super Saiyan 3, I'm not going to stop attacking you until I am able to go and knock your head back, Dad. As a cocky Vegeta then went on to quickly respond, "Well, not bad at all, actually, for at least you are finally able to go and get a bit of offense here against me, but it was as I had said before," Vegeta continues, "as you are going to have to fight a lot harder and with far more power behind your attacks if you think that you're going to be getting the better of me, which I can assure you here and now that you won't, Trunks." But then, it was suddenly from out of nowhere within those very moments as Super Saiyan 3 Trunks was finally shown having to get the upper hand by having to actually be shown attacking Vegeta and getting a clean hit on him, was when Trunks went on to then quickly respond, "Well, you can continue to go and think what you want, Father, because it was as I had said, and so I'll go and repeat myself in case I wasn't clear enough before, and that is simply put that I won't stop attacking you until I have went and wiped away that grin that you gave me right off your face, and from the looks of it, and it sure doesn't look as though I was wrong about what it was that I had said, now wasn't I? And so now, how do you like that?
I'm getting me a lick.
Dad? And if that wasn't going to be enough to go and change your mind, then there's plenty of more where that came from, and so now bring it on, because I'm ready," with Vegeta responding, well, would you just go and look at that, for it would seem as though this just might be worth my time after all, Trunks. For this was both a pleasant and yet a very annoying little surprise in having to watch all of this unfold, and so now you have my full and undivided attention from here on. And so bravo on being able to find an opening that was quick enough in getting a good shot on me while you could. Vegeta went on to then continue upon being shown having to clap, as I will be the first to go and admit that I certainly wasn't expecting for you to go and take it this far out here against me, and so if that's going to be the case here against you, Vegeta adds, then let's just see on how confident you truly are when staring into the power of a god of destruction. Vegeta went on to then transform into his ultra ego form by continuing, as I'd be very careful if I were you, because this is going to be unlike anything that...
Now, this is actually peak writing for Vegeta, because what did he just do? He's sitting here fighting the dude in base the whole damn time, and then he went from 0 to 100, okay? He turned it up on it, bitch. We turned it up. I turned it up on it. Anyways, that's a song in a different playlist. But y'all know, shouts out to E40, because that shit slaps. Anyways, that's exactly what he did. He ready to slap him now. He's like, well, guess what? Let's start with regular Ultra Ego. It ain't even the mastered. He just went to regular Ultra Ego. He said, you got your Super Saiyan 3 eyebrow. I got my Super Saiyan 3 eyebrow. You know what I mean? He said, we rocking that thing with you. You know what I mean, son? Training lessons. Got you.
You have ever done. dealt with before, Trunks. With Trunks responding, whoa, I haven't seen Dad go and use this freaky-looking Ultra form of his in a really long time, but, well, even now while I'm looking right into his eyes, he only appears to be far crazier than I remembered him being like, but his power is gigantic, and what's even more unsettling, Trunks adds, is that this isn't even Dad's ultimate level of power either, because whatever's left that goes beyond this is more than likely his mastered variation, but even while I'm not sure on what to make of this at the moment, I've still got to go in there and try no matter what. As Ultra Ego Vegeta went on to then point towards Trunks by responding, well then go ahead and give it your best if you think that it'll work, Trunks, and I'll even go and give you a freebie and allow for you to go and attack me while my back is turned, just so you can go and have a better chance at proving your own point. As an infuriated Super Saiyan 3 Trunks then went on to dash towards his father by responding, well, sue yourself then, Dad, but going and turning your back to me during the middle of our battle is going to be one mistake that you wish you didn't go and make, and so whether you're wielding the power of a destroyer against me or not, I will go on to prove you wrong otherwise, and so now take this! Oh, what the? My attack, it hardly made an effect on you, with Vegeta being shown having to smile and responding, well, go on then and do your worst if you think that it'll make a difference here against me, and I'll go on to show you on why none of it will matter when this is all said and done, Trunks. Oh, why aren't any of my attacks working here? Trunks went on to then say to himself upon being shown attacking his father. Well then never mind that, because sooner or later I will land a strong enough blow on you that'll, well, so be it. Then Vegeta went on to then quickly interrupt by elbowing Trunks in the stomach. For I have seen enough, because if this is going to be the best that you can do while my back is turned towards you, then there is no need for this to continue. And so for what it's worth, you should go and do yourself a huge favor and just stay down for the time being, Trunks. As Trunks went on to then hold on to his stomach by responding, oh, too strong. You didn't need to go and hit me as hard as you did just now, Dad. Oh,
gotta put your ass down, son.
Because that wasn't even remotely close in being as hard as I could have went.
He says you don't even know the amount of Zen cards your ass finna get fucking with me. Hell, we going to the spirit, we going to the hyperbolic time chamber with a pack of sensu. Okay, you finna get all type of Zenkais, because guess what they finna do? Some Zenkai training. You finna go from Super Saiyan 3 to Master Super Saiyan Blue to beginning Ultra Ego. Hell, he might even master that too, because you know them young boys, they catch up real quick. The only thing you gotta do is make them put in the work.
Down to your base level,
then they get that EXP up. Double EXP week, and they're gonna be clocking them all week.
Vegeta continues, for you would have been eaten alive out there if that was the best that you had to offer, Trunks. With Trunks responding, but I don't understand, because how are you this strong to where that not even my Super Saiyan 3 was enough to go and do anything to stand up against you, Dad? Well, I guess that I will just have to go and try a little harder next time, because I don't want this to be on how this ends here, Dad. Please. With Vegeta responding, just look at yourself. How pitiful. And here you thought that you to face me and thinking that Super Saiyan 3 was actually going to work, now didn't you? Well, let this go and serve as having this be a painful reminder to you that the difference in our power is night and day.
At least he had that ready.
Want to know as to why that is, Vegeta questions? Well, it's simple, because you've went and allowed yourself to grow complacent over the years in thinking that you could simply keep up just because you are my son, but you're wrong, boy. And so do you want to know as to why I am the way I am, Vegeta continues? It's simply because I've never settled, and if you truly want to go and be a part of this upcoming tournament, then you will need to go and learn on how to not settle too. Do you understand? For the very power that you seek isn't woven within myself or anyone else, but within you, Vegeta went on to approach Trunks by tapping him on the chest and continuing, where it has always been, but it won't come to you by waiting or by wishing, but only through your willpower to dig down and fight for it and bringing it out and onto the surface, Vegeta says. And if you truly wish to either stand by my side or stand across from me during this tournament, then you will go and need to learn how to set aside your immature nature and further go on ahead to evolve yourself into becoming the man that you want want for yourself to be, Vegeta says. For both you and Kakarot's youngest are no longer children, Trunks, and so if you don't find it within yourself to make the changes that need to be made, then you will always remain as you are and being nothing more than a shadow of the warrior that you one day wish to be. And so now the choice is yours, but whatever choice you go and decide to make, do not go and waste my time and having it all be for nothing, Trunks. And so for what it's worth, let me go and make this perfectly clear, for I will help you for the time being, but only because I see the potential that's buried deep within you. However, if by the end of the day you don't find a way to break your limits and evolve, then I will refuse to allow for you to go and compete in this upcoming tournament. Do I make myself clear? And so now hurry it up and come with me, with an excited Trunks being shown responding, "Wait, seriously? You really mean it? Well, thank you for giving me a chance to go and show you, as I promise that I won't let you down in the meantime, Dad. And so you can make sure to go and count on me. But, well, where exactly are we going if you want me to go and follow you, Dad? Because, well, I'm starting to get a little nervous," Trunks says, as it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Omniverse, the official top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse sequel, manga chapter number 9 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now, I will go as far as to say that although I am very glad to see both Goku and Vegeta taking this time to focus on what's important, along with being shown training their sons the way they are, however, I am rather curious on just how far they are going to go and push their sons in having them ready for this upcoming tournament, because anything less than what will be required of them will certainly not be enough in having them get by if they wish to go and make it very far against whomever the Omni Kings decide to go and feature in this upcoming event. And so you do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video. And before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to Unreal Gaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Now, I know it might be weird, maybe even a little bit sus, but just trust me, okay? Just shove it in your mouth, Catman.
Say what now? I will do no such thing, Talking Bugman, but what I will do is encourage you all to subscribe to Unrelent Gaming for the latest Dragon Ball content. And while you're at it, make sure to like the video. Also, don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon community for more exclusive content, early access, and much, much more. Do it now, or I'll destroy your planet, along with every taco.
Hey, don't just waste the goddamn thing. Pass it here.
Beans to the tacos, man. Beans to the tacos. See how high that went? That fast. 360 trillion. That's why I said, he said, okay, you want to pull out a Zaru. You want to pull out a Zaru on me, mother lover. No, sir, Bob, I'm not having it. He said power level 360 trillion. So when you just went Super Saiyan.
find yourself on the Unrelent Gaming channel. How fortunate for you. I, Lord Freezer, will spare your life as long as you subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon for tons of exclusive content, early access media, and much more. Do it now, or else.
Keep me busy doing my reviews, right? Appreciate that. You know, Venom Caramel for the people on Rundale.
俺もくまさかホタルで合体すっとな修行サボってっからぞやるな君たちベジータいい加減しつけえぞこれからってとこなのによほんとにオラそっくりだなそうすればおめえは全世界のどんなやつにも負けねえんだぞよく一人でここまで腕上げたなあの力なんとかしなきゃこの世界を救うことはできねえんだろ修行サボってっからだぞパワーを試してんだろこいつがスーパーサイヤ人ゴッドだよしドラゴンボールそこだおめえと手合わせするのも久しぶりだなまだ終わってねえあんたの時飛ばしのはるか先だ無理すんなよ
I don't think so. You're not going anywhere because there is still a lot more that we have yet to show you. So don't forget to become a member of Unreal's Patreon for more exclusive content and upcoming videos. We hope you enjoy the things you're about to see. So you better not leave because we aren't done. Come now, Broly. Let's finish our battle. Now enjoy.
最近調子に乗っているようだが、せいぜい足元を救われるようにな、この勝負を見定めるということか。俺がわざわざ無様な戦いだったら承知せず、戦いは実際に自分でやるに限るんだがな。連勝中か、そういうやつを倒してこそ勝負が面白くなる。戦う前に相手の癖を先に知るのも重要だからな。適当な戦いを見せやがったらただじゃおかないからな。まったく実況などなくとも見ていれば全てわかるだろう。勝ち続けることなどもはや当たり前だ。戦闘民族ならな、知らないやつと勝負だが嫌な予感がする。この無駄に偉そうなやつと21号の勝負。
どの選手も実力者揃い俺も遅れを取らないように頑張らなくてはいけないな引き分けか
このまま空中戦に持ち込む腹積もりか上に吹っ飛ばすか決め手に各攻撃を続けてどうするここで下手に防御に回ればという間に追い込まれるからな悪くない攻撃だだがまさかこれで終わりではないだろうなくだらん茶番劇にならないようせいぜい頑張るんだなこいつらの戦いか興味もなくはないな俺が勝つに決まっているのに勝負を見る必要があるのか少しはまともな戦いになってきたようだな敵は待ってはくれん
地球の未来をかけた戦いというわけではありません気楽に見た方がいいかもしれませんね俺もよく知らない選手も何人かいますねその戦いを見て勉強しようと思います互角だとは理解していましたがここまでの均衡だったとはまさかこんな形で勝負が終わるとは予想していませんでしたこいつは誰かが止めないとまずいことになる気がします戦い方はあんなに激しかったのに勝ってはいけないやつが勝ってしまったみたいですね
一度倒れたくらいでこのざまか一方的に押されたくらいで諦めるやつは戦う資格などない残ったやつの数だけで有利不利は測れないからなこの程度で吹っ飛ばされるとは気が緩んでいる証拠だな
やっぱり強いいつまでも強さの限界を超えていくんですね父さんもまた強くなっている俺もいつか必ず追い越してみせますこの戦士が勝ちましたが何なんだこの言葉にしがたい不安感は俺たちの常識さえも超越した技の数々誰かは分かりませんでしたがとても興味深い戦いでした間違いなく恐ろしい力を持ったやつ実力は確かなんだがどうにも締まらないなこれほどとはこれほどの力の持ち主なのか
戦いの舞台は地上だけではないということだ花から相手に攻撃の隙を与えないとは考えたが相手の交代のペースまでコントロールするつもりとはその程度弾いて当然だ誰も後ろから攻めないとは言っていないだろう
彼が未来に悪人として現れなかったことは不幸中の幸いでしたね武道家としての実力は本物ですねこいつをこのままにはしておけないその戦い方何か手を打たなければ
その位置からこの威力を出すのか ちいち勘に触るやつだ。17号まで出てきやがったか。全く隙のない攻撃だ。セルの野郎、相変わらず緊張感のない技だ。相変わらず面倒な技を使いやがる。仕事相手を消し飛ばす気か。まったく最初から本気を出さないところまで後譲りか。流れを一気に自分に引き寄せやがった。
初めから全力でかかってくるんだな。これから見せるのが本当の力だ。人間の盾となれ。
ヘラヘラしやがって。こんなふざけた野郎でもそれなりにはやるようだな。
助け合って生きる、それが俺たち人間だ。宇宙からはるばる俺をスカウトしていたのはどうやら敵のようだ。
互いに手加減なしの勝負をしていたならやむを得ないだろう。まさかこんな奴が勝つ勝負を見せられるとは。フリーザ同様いけすかない野郎だ。昔と今とではどちらの方が強いか一目瞭然か。やはりとんでもない化け物のようだな。スーパーサイヤ人にならないと。様子には貴様の悪い癖だぞ。
頼ってばかりはいられない。これからも俺をこの手で勝つんだ。敵だって成長するんだ。俺も気を抜いていられないな。もっと強くならなければ。まだ見ぬ敵を倒すためにあの力を極めていれば結果は逆だった。この世界の平和は俺が守る。これで全てが終わりました。似ていたが別人のようだな。もしよろしければ今度野球を教えてください。今回は一発食らわせましたよ。攻撃を弾き返す隙のなさ、さすがですね。背後からの吸収とは考えましたね。攻撃を全て避けてからの攻撃。
今は勝利に浮かれている。貴様とはいずれ俺が蹴りをつける。一応勝負は見届けたが悪くないコンビネーションだが、そのふざけた格好は何なんだ。退屈しのぎにはなる勝負だったぜ。どんな力を持っていようが貴様を倒すのはこの俺だ。どんな姿になろうが他にやられるようなやつではないぜ。今までに見たことのない戦い方だったが、何が神だ。力はあっても気に入らんな。余裕の表情をしてやがるだと。どこまでも気に入らないやつだ。ここまでのとてつもない力を持っていたとは。まったくさっさと勝負を決めないからこういうことになるんだ。鉛切った体も少しはまともに動くようになったらしいな。第六宇宙最強だか知らないが、いずれ貴様も俺が倒す。
よくわからないけどさ、やると言うなら相手になるぞ。なんだろう、戦いを見ていると少し応援したくなるような不思議な人だ。こいつを止めるのは簡単じゃないということか。早く手を打たなければいけないな。よりによってこいつが勝ってしまうとは。
16号が勝ったか。こいつも少しはやる気を出したようだ。悪い風が抜けたと言っても舐めてかかれる相手ではないな。こいつやはり遊びのつもりで戦って勝っているのか。やはりその力は本物というわけだ。技を避けきれる奴はいない。いいか、次は必ず俺一人で勝つ。勝利してもさらなる強さを目指す。そうでなくてはな。こいつは他の奴らとは格が違う。勝ったからといって油断するな。貴様の場合慢心すれば次はない。修行の成果というわけか。これで終わりではないだろう。情けないどころの騒ぎではないからな。
このままでは。これが昔の父さんか。力を試されていたのか。こうしたというのは本当でしょうか。でたらめなやつだな。
勝ったからといって油断するな。貴様の場合慢心すれば次はない。ここで負けるようではサイヤ人の面汚しだからな。やはりとてつもない強さだ。だからこそ戦いたくなる。俺の息子が負けると思うか。こそは必ず俺のこの手で。
みんなを助けるために最初から飛ばしていますね。それだけ本気ということでしょう。時間切れが先かどちらかが先に倒れるのが先か。
やはりこいつの潜在能力は高いようだな。俺から言わせればまだ攻め方が甘いがな。こいつは平和ボケなどしていないということか。本気を出すまでもなかったか。ここでやられるようでは俺の修行相手にもならんからな。想像通りの結果だな。カカロットとこいつとでは場数が違う。勝ち方としては悪くないな。真剣勝負にもったいつける必要はないからな。見ているだけは飽きた。 次は俺に戦わせろ。最初に油断しているからこういうことになるんだ。これだけの圧勝なら認めるしかなさそうだな。本当に一撃も食らわずに勝ちやがった。逃げの姿勢で勝って何になる。次は相手をぶちのめせ。制限時間に頼るとはそんなものは勝利と認めん。思っていたより見応えはあったな。真剣に戦っているんだ。多少の破壊くらいでとやかく言うな。派手に暴れたな。無様に吹き飛ばされやがって相手に反撃の隙を与えるな。様子見など不要だ。先制攻撃としては文句なしといったところだな。この勝負の結末など読めん。黙って見届けろ。予断を許さない状況になったな。下手をすれば次の一撃で勝負は決まるだろう。お互いに視力を尽くした戦いになった。
時間との戦いにもなってきましたね。残り時間はわずかのようです。ここまで極限の戦いになるとはどちらかがいつ倒れてもおかしくありません。勝負は決まってしまうかもしれませんね。限界を超えた戦い。
Now, I know it might be weird, maybe even a little bit sus, but just trust me, okay? Just shove it in your mouth, Catman.
Say what now? I will do no such thing, Talking Bugman, but what I will do is encourage you all to subscribe to Unrelent Gaming for the latest Dragon Ball content. And while you're at it, make sure to like the video. Also, don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon community for more exclusive content, early access, and much, much more. Do it now, or I'll destroy your planet, along with every taco.
Hey, don't just waste the goddamn thing. Pass it here.
There's Tiffany. She don't like tacos, man. What? Taco truck, man. Every Tuesday, man.
Check it out, man. It wasn't long ago, just a couple of weeks.
Prepare yourself, Dan Saiyan.
Well, it looks like no matter which way we are going, it seems like this Dragon Ball store only has controversy for us at every twist and turn. Because first, people were upset about the artwork that was in the entrance of the Dragon Ball store in Japan. Perfectly valid, right? Because it looks like AI generated. But then people were sort of praising what looks like to be artwork inside the anime store or the Dragon Ball store that has characters that and scenes that we have not seen in the Dragon Ball superhero style, the CGI style. So they said that was kind of cool, myself included. Now we get an actual reaction from one of the legendary figures in the Dragon Ball space, as he's already gone to the Japanese Dragon Ball store. And I'm talking about Toriyama's editor. And he had some very strong words, not only about the store, but about Iyoku, who is poising himself to be the lead, the head of Dragon Ball, at least the anime division. He's the one that came up with a lot of the ideas that we've seen post Broly. So this is what he had to say when he was talking about the leadership that we've seen from Akio Iyoku without directly naming him and what he thinks about him. And it's pretty rough here. He says he is the head of a secret society, someone who hasn't created a single page or written a single line of Dragon Ball, yet gives orders on everything with that arrogant air. Ooh, he's going for his neck. And remember, what he's saying is right. Akio Iyoku has not done anything manga-wise. And Torishima has been there in the trenches. in the very beginning with Toriyama. There are a lot of decisions originally that were made in the manga that Torishima had not control, but he had influence over, changing Toriyama's mind. So it almost feels like Torishima is the old guard that used to influence Dragon Ball, and Akio Yoku is the new guard that is influencing it now. After visiting the Dragon Ball store at Tokyo Station, this is what he had to say, and this is kind of what people are... This is what's trending, essentially. This is what people are talking about on Twitter and on TikTok. Torishima says, it's shit. Actually, it is beneath shit. It looks like a shop put together overnight. To tell the truth, the producer at Capsule Corporation Tokyo has absolutely no aesthetic sense, which is why things like this come out. Shueisha can communicate well with CCT, or CCT is so annoying that they've stopped telling them anything. Wow. And you know who's the one that's the lead on CCT, Capsule Corp? It's Akio Yoku. This is a scathing review of Yoku and the future of Dragon Ball, at least directively, creatively, and just exactly where he thinks Dragon Ball is going. Because he is not only talking about Akio Yoku as being arrogant, but also he doesn't know how to aesthetically create a store that just sells Dragon Ball merchandise, which now that he's saying it like that, I can see where Torishima is coming from, because the controversy over the AI looking art in the entrance, I mean, it looks like shit, which it shouldn't, because they could have easily tried to commission any artist on Twitter, really, or Instagram. They would have done a much better job and would have loved the opportunity. But what we got was just awful and disgusting. And then on the inside, yes, it looked cool. Like, the superhero art looks cool, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, it is superhero. And it's CG. And so even if it looks cool, scenes that we've never seen, that we didn't see in the movie, it's still, like, to me and a lot of other people, an inferior prism to look at Dragon Ball through, because hand drawn, or at least just regular 2D, is just so much better than anything that CG could produce, even if it's like the top tier CG. And don't get me wrong, it was all right, it was decent. Like, but I go back to watching Broly, DBS Broly, far more times than I've ever gone back to rewatch Superhero, and that's a fact. So right here, Torishima is going to dismantle the aesthetic, why it's wrong for the Dragon Ball store, how it goes against Akira Toriyama's principal philosophy, and just what he thinks of that AI art that looks, it's not AI, but it looks like AI. What he thinks of that AI art that we've seen in the entrance. He says, aesthetic sense 0. If you want to highlight a character wearing that gi, the background must be black or dark. Toriyama used orange because the background is white. Do the people checking this not know these things? Are they idiots? What he's talking about is that the entire store is orange. It's a bright orange. It's the same color as Goku's gi, and yet we got several versions of Goku who already wears orange, so it kind of washes him out. So he didn't like that, because Toriyama, he only chose orange because of the white background. And so Toriyama, honestly, he made a lot of changes, like, that are critical changes to not only transformations, but characters or designs. He made a lot of these changes because of the need. He had to, because of the medium that he was telling these stories from. And just principle alone, honestly, I mean, it makes sense. You can't have two things of the same color if you want to show some sort of depth, or some sort of any sort of contrast between two images. This is just standard stuff. Now, he talks about Goku charging up the Kamehameha. This right here, this is exactly what he's talking about. This picture right here, one of the things that people are criticizing the most. that pose is wrong. If you stand straight up, you can't fire a Kamehameha. You have to put power into your hips. It was drawn by someone who doesn't understand where the physical power of the gesture lies, meaning that they skimped out money giving these art projects essentially to people that don't understand how an anime works, which is, I mean, for how much money Dragon Ball makes, I can see why he's upset. So the guy who was interviewing him says, I spoke with some illustrators. They told me since the job was entrusted to me, I'm giving it my all. In that case, Shueisha or the CCT supervisor should reject them, right? Torishima says that is exactly right, which I don't think that's a huge jump. If you get something that you don't like or it doesn't make any sense, why are you approving it to be put on the wall? Why are you approving it to be put in such a critical space like this store? Now, Torishima continues saying that he would like either him or Nakatsuru to supervise art for Dragon Ball. He says, since Areli products were coming out with clumsy and terrible drawings just like these, what did I do back then? I watch the anime constantly, and you know there are episodes where the drawings are beautiful, right? I carefully checked the credits, asked for the information, selected those few people, had them draw for me, and said, I want you to entrust the work only to these people. And I wanted them to be paid adequately, meaning that you get what you pay for. And so it just seems like they don't have an art supervisor for some of these things for Dragon Ball, which honestly, especially for something as big as the first ever Dragon Ball store, honestly, this is a red flag. Because if you can't even get an art director for the anime store, which is just for the art on the walls of the anime store, how are we entrusting the future of Dragon Ball past Toriyama to you guys, or to even Akioku, if you're gonna be giving the same effort that you did to something so minimal, possibly to something more maximum, like say an anime or a movie. So this is probably where he probably is going to get maybe some backlash from the Dragon Ball elite, the people that control the IP right now, because he actively goes out of his way to tell fans not to spend money at this store, saying that they're fakes and that they are devoid of Toriyama's soul, which is huge. It's that, to me, I mean, this is the guy that spent many decades next to Toriyama, influencing decisions and stuff. So, I mean, he sounds like he's pissed. Apologies for saying this to fans who went to the Dragon Ball store, but guys, they are treating you like ducks to be plucked. They think, they don't understand anyway, just lining this stuff up is enough. The only choice is not to buy and slam in their faces the fact that everything there now is shit. It is, if it stops selling, everyone will reflect it is because it sells that they stop thinking. Wow, that's crazy. So it's the same as any other kind of boycott, is that once you stop, maybe they'll change something. If you don't stop, if you keep going there and you keep spending your money, they're not going to change anything. They're like just going to throw Dragon Ball right in your face. They'll buy it anyway. They're Dragon Ball fans. With how thirsty Dragon Ball fans are now, I could see them buying about anything. So, yeah, we are... this is the direction, the leadership direction of Dragon Ball going forward. This is going to be a huge issue. I do think that we need to take heed from this... from Torishima and his accounts of all this, because he was the right-hand man of Toriyama for many, many, many years. He was the guy that was right next to him. He knows what Dragon Ball is. He knows the soul of Dragon Ball, and the fact that they are not inviting him at least into the Dragon Ball room, or at least in the Capsule Corporation over there in Tokyo, or at least as an assistant or art director or anything, to me is a huge red flag. And I'm hoping we don't get levels of One Punch Man Season 3 animation going forward for Dragon Ball. That would suck.
Man.
But let me know what you guys think about this drama in the comments.
Subscribe for more content.
Yardrat Vegeta 10 years ago would have sounded like a joke, but in the Dragon Ball Super manga, this actually happened. Vegeta went to Yardrat and chose to master anything besides what Goku came here and learned, because he has a different plan in mind. On Yardrat, Vegeta is taught the spirit control technique by the inhabitants, which allows him to manipulate his own spirit and energy in new ways. Vegeta would even create his own unique version of spirit control called the Force Spirit Fission technique. This technique allows Vegeta to forcefully extract an opponent's spirit energy, causing them to lose their power and rendering them weak, making this the perfect weapon to use against Moro, who gained a lot of his power later on in the arc from absorbing energy from others. Force Spirit Fission allows the user to separate and manipulate the energy from their target, granting them the ability to do things such as undo fusion or absorption techniques and even free trapped souls. Vegeta used this technique to strip Moro of all of the stolen energy he had absorbed, and also, even though reluctantly, Vegeta would even learn instant transmission as well, allowing him to show back up to the battlefield in record time to be able to help Goku.
This is Lord Beerus, and unless you want your planet destroyed, subscribe to Geekdom 101. It's even better than pudding.
Alright, so we've got a lot to talk about here when it comes to Torishima and rumors and things that he has said this week in the world of Dragon Ball. So as always, I always say this, remember to watch the video all the way to the end and listen carefully, because I'm going to give you all the information, and you're going to, by the end of the video, you're going to know what's going on, because there's a couple things going on right now. There's a conflict going on. I wouldn't even call it that. Kazuhiko Torishima, first of all, let me tell you who that is. If you don't know who Torishima is, you see his picture right there on the screen. Torishima was Toriyama's original editor, and he's the guy who discovered Akira Toriyama way back in the late 70s. And Toriyama has always been close to Torishima. Torishima was one of the guys that helped Dragon Quest. Torishima has also helped Toriyama with the manga, like craft the story. So he's very high up when it comes to the history of Dragon Ball. And I think that, you know, he's important. Whether you like him or not, he's important. So this has been floating around the internet. I'm going to talk about two things on this video. This and the comments he made about Akio. So this floating around on the internet, there's a quote from Torishima where he says, "Everyone, you can also look forward to the next Dragon Ball movie." And now, because people online do no research, all they do is look at this story and they repost it without doing any research, any homework, any context. Look, y'all, a lot of these Dragon Ball news people, like, you know, whether it be YouTube or Instagram or whatever, they're very bad at their job because they never actually look into things. So Torishima was talking about this rumor that came out weeks ago, right? And that rumor was deleted because it was a misunderstanding. That's what Torishima is referring to. Torishima is not involved right now with Toei Animation, Shueisha, or Capsule Corp Tokyo. What that means is Torishima is not right now involved in Dragon Ball at all. Like, he has a podcast with Yuji Horii called the Koso Koso Podcast, and on that podcast, it's in Japanese, they do reveal some interesting things, but I'm letting you know now that he has no real influence on things now because he's not with any of those companies. He's actually retired. So he used to work for Shueisha, but now he's retired. So this quote about the next Dragon Ball movie and how he confirmed it, please do not take this as being gospel because it's not. People are taking it out of context. Now, if you remember, about a year ago, I did a video where I discussed that there's going to be another Dragon Ball movie and that there was talk internally that after Daima, the next thing that would come out is a movie. Now, we've got the January event, the Genki Danmatsuri event in Japan, which is going to announce two big projects. Now, one of the big projects that's being rumored is a new theatrical Dragon Ball movie. I really don't want to comment on that because, yes, I have heard things. I have seen things, not necessarily related to this movie, but after when Daima was coming out and that rumor was prevalent, after a little while, nobody was really talking about it. Therefore, I kind of decided not to even address it anymore, because it seems like if they had a movie planned, it may have changed due to Toriyama's passing, or maybe that was Toriyama's final script. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea if there is a final script from Toriyama. I'm sure we'll find out soon. But a new Dragon Ball movie is being rumored to be announced at Genki Damatsuri. So, of course, I'll be here to cover that. Now, the Genki Damatsuri event is hosted...
Now, they could run the Tupac play. Well, we got a list of movies that he had been pitched. So since we did release him, now that he's dead, they all get released type shit. You see what I'm saying? That could always be the good thing about it. And then since it's Toyotaro, we'll just have him change a few things and put in the edits to what to make more sense for now, right? Yeah, it's easy fix. I mean, and then you could have Toyotaro do his side thing, which would be him actually writing the story he wants to write, meaning aka the Zycore Part 3, Zycore Fusion Reborn, Cooler enters the canonicity somewhere besides a movie, so Cooler will be making another movie too, so they got all types of content they could be making off of this. So with Dragon Ball, it's more like, well, go ahead and get started to get back up there. And like he said, no matter what, the fans is going to have to either support it or not. But at the same point in time, don't complain about the drought, because, you know, they can come out with anything now. You see what I'm saying? Anything.
By Akio Ioku and Masuko Nozawa. Akio Ioku is the president and CEO of Capsule Corporation Tokyo, who is now in charge of anime and video games. They're going to be working with Bandai and Toei to get Dragon Ball products out. And that's what that company's for. And Akio was Toriyama's right-hand man. In some ways, y'all, Akio sort of took Torishima's spot, because Torishima was always making suggestions to Toriyama. He's obviously the editor who told Toriyama when he was writing the Android Saga that he didn't think that 19 and 20 were villains, because one's a clown and one's an old man. And that's what led to Toriyama creating 17 and 18. And then when he did that, Torishima told him, this is also not too good because a bunch of teenage boys. And that's what led to Toriyama creating the character of Cell as the true final villain of the Android arc. So Torishima has had a lot of influence. Recently,
and then they had to go 3 versions of Cell.
Has
Don't
made
forget that
comments
part
about Akio Ioku that are somewhat inflammatory. Now, I'm going to give you my thoughts on this and go into it now, but I want to tell you that I want to reiterate what I said earlier. Torishima is not currently involved in any Dragon Ball company. Not Bandai, not Shueisha, not Toei, not Capsule Corp. He just does a podcast. So when he says something, it does not necessarily mean anything. But this is still like something worth talking about. So Torishima was discussing Akio Ioku. First of all, thanks to Venixis for the translations. And he says that he wrote, Torishima harshly attacked the figure of Akio Ioku without naming him explicitly, accusing him of arrogance despite lacking direct creative experience on the original manga. And obviously Torishima did. So Torishima said he's the head of a secret society, someone who hasn't created a single page or written a single line of Dragon Ball, yet gives orders on everything with that arrogant air. So you have to understand, y'all, for Japanese people don't do this. It's very rare you'll have a Japanese person talk like this, because that culture, that sort of Eastern culture, is very respectful. And so when you see something like this, it's like, whoa, like that is not how Japanese people are normally, right? So it's interesting because he said this, and he's obviously talking about Akio.
Yeah, I like how
I
he
never really
pointed out
saw
that
Akio as being arrogant.
this ain't even in their
Obviously,
culture to be
I don't know
haters.
the guy, but every time I saw him do something Dragon Ball related, I didn't think it was
not
arrogance.
like this. Not
But
like
Torishima
this.
seems to really dislike him. And he goes on to say, he talks about the Dragon Ball store that just opened up in Tokyo. He says, it's shit. Actually, it's beneath shit. Man, that is rough. It looks like a shop put together over overnight. To tell the truth, the producer of Capsule Corporation Tokyo, that's Akio, has absolutely no aesthetic sense, which is why things like this come out. Shueisha can't communicate well with Capsule Corporation Tokyo, or CCT is so annoying that they've stopped telling them anything. Now, this may seem like internal Dragon Ball drama, but once again, Torishima is not involved in Dragon Ball right now, but Akio is. And I guess Torishima's not a fan of his. He's right, though. Akio has never actually written a manga page or a script. He just gives Toriyama suggestions. That's the guy who thought that Broly should come back and be rewritten by Toriyama. Akio's the guy that told Toriyama to make Gohan the lead and superhero. So he has influence. He does. But I don't think it's fair for Torishima to criticize him like this, because that was what Torishima did too, you know. Then he goes on to say, aesthetic sense zero. This is about the Dragon Ball store. If you want to highlight a character wearing that gi, the background must be black or dark. Toriyama used orange because the background is white. Do the people checking this not know these things? Are they idiots? This is real harsh stuff. That pose is wrong. If you stand straight up, you can't fire a Kamehameha. You have to put power into your hips. It was drawn by someone who doesn't understand where the physical power of the gesture lies. Now look, I've seen some people crash out over this. I have seen people completely crash out over these comments, like Dragon Ball fans. Look, don't take him too seriously. Torishima, I respect Torishima, genuinely, because he's an important figure in Dragon Ball, but he's also an old man who's probably a little bit bitter and crotchety based on these comments. So I would not take him too seriously. Oh, I wouldn't take him too seriously.
Dude's like 70 plus.
And then this is an interesting situation with this character,
He was already
Naz
old when
Chris.
he started fucking producing and
what
editing.
this is important. He says, I spoke with some illustrators. They told me since the job was entrusted to me, I'm giving it my all. In that case, Shueisha or the CCT supervisor should reject them, right? And then Torishima says that's exactly right. So he basically just leaked, without meaning to, that they're working on a Dragon Ball project that is probably going to be anime related, because I don't mean like anime TV, I mean like TV or movie, because if there were illustrators working on it, there you go. But at the same time, this comment right here may also be about the Dragon Ball store, so, but I don't think it is. And then I'm not going to go into all this. I'm going to link this for you guys down in the description so you can read more if you want to. But this Torishima is telling people not to go to the store. He's like, do not go to the Dragon Ball store. It's garbage. I just believe that don't take this too seriously. And please do, once again, like I said in the Vegeta video the other day, please do not believe the BS stories about Torishima confirming a Dragon Ball movie. He does not work for Toei or Capsule Corporation. He just doesn't. So it's one man's opinion. I have respect for him, but he never said that in that context. You have to remember, when we're talking about this story, context is king. Anyways, with that being said, thanks for watching. Check out the videos on your screen right now and look forward to more content here on the Geekdom 101 channel. I love you guys. See you soon.
Shout out to that big homie for this beat. Appreciate that.
Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden, by the door, in the bedroom, on the floor. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. Remember me when you're far away. I'll always have a place for you to stay. In the garden,